Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Byron Searle, and I'm going to share a vision the Lord gave me on February 16th, 2020. It is called A Vision of Empty Store Shelves, and here's the vision. Today, while in prayer, the Lord gave me a vision of an event happening in my city in the days ahead. In this vision, the Lord allowed me to experience this event as it was taking place. I found myself in the middle of the event as an observer to carefully watch and take notice of all that was going on around me. It started out with me driving my current vehicle that I drive every day to and from work. I don't know if it was day after getting home from work or if it was the weekend. It was a sunny and seemingly normal day, and I was not alerted to anything happening at the time. I was driving toward the downtown area to the local plaza where there is a Walmart, a grocery store, and several other stores. The location is a short distance from my house, approximately 2 or 3 miles away. As I drove along, I heard the radio in the car tuned to a local talk radio station. Suddenly, my attention was on what was being said on the radio. The talk show host became very serious in his tone and stated that it was being reported that several large cities were in lockdown because of the COVID-19 coronavirus was now rampant and mutating. He then said that all people were being ordered to stay inside their homes or apartments. I was somewhat surprised to hear that being said, as I was not aware that things had gotten to that point. By this time, I was arriving at my destination. As the plaza area was coming into view, I saw what looked like a riot taking place. The streets leading up to the plaza and the entire parking lot were jam-packed with vehicles parked all over the place and car doors left wide open. This is a smaller city with approximately 16,000 residents, and it appeared that all 16,000 of them were in this plaza. The main places of activity were the grocery store and the Walmart. I drove into the parking lot, dodging people all over the place as they were wildly running about. All parking lot spaces and aisles were blocked by vehicles, but I managed to pull into a spot where the return carts go. I got out of my car and I stood in amazement as I watched people running as fast as they could in almost every direction, screaming and shouting hysterically. I was observing complete and utter chaos and hysteria. Not one person was calm. All were running about, yelling, screaming, and crying. A little way ahead of me, I noticed a person that I recognized and asked him what was going on. He stated that he had heard from the local National Guard that they were planning a martial law order and that everyone would have to stay in their homes. He told me that nearly all of the store shelves were empty of food, water, and other goods. He said that the people in the stores were acting like crazed rabid animals, throwing cans of food at each other and stealing each other's carts. I decided to enter the grocery store to see for myself. I went in, and it was worse than I had anticipated, complete chaos and wild fighting. People were at the checkout lines were yelling and screaming at the cashiers because their debit and credit cards were not working in the machines and they had no cash. People began to bypass the registers and just run out of the stores without paying for the food in their carts. I saw people at the front of the store and just outside the store attacking people who were running out with food. Waiting mobs of people grabbed and beat the people who were leaving the store with food, taking all their food and leaving the people injured and lying on the ground. I observed that the shelves were all emptied in a matter of minutes. As I watched, it reminded me of a pack of ravenous wolves or frenzied sharks fighting over food. It was unbelievable to watch this take place. I ventured further into the store and saw how everything in the store was totally destroyed. The doors were pulled off of the refrigerated and freezer sections and broken and thrown all over the floor. Shelving units were pushed over, knocked down, and broken up. There was no food left at all, anywhere on any shelves. Everything was totally gone, completely wiped out. Then my attention was drawn to the doors in the back of the store that led to the stock room. People had begun running back there in search of more food, as the store was now cleared out. They began tearing all the boxes and pallets apart, looking for food. Many of the boxes contained paper products and cleaning supplies, but all that was thrown aside since the people were in a mad frenzy looking for any boxes containing food items. I saw them find and take pet food because it was food. They acted like they'd hit a jackpot when they found dog food. I left the back room and was again in the store area. As I looked around, I then saw some people that I knew from some of the local churches in the area. These people were all standing there with a terrified look on their faces. Most of them were crying because they were too late and there was nothing left. I approached them and asked, "Why did you not prepare for this?" After all, many watchmen have been warning for years of what was to come. One of them replied to me, "I thought we would be gone before anything bad happened. I should have listened." As we were standing there looking about at people fighting over what little remained, suddenly we began to hear gunshots fired as many people had come there armed. Bullets began flying everywhere and many people were being hit. No one came to their aid or tried to help them, but they were just left on the floor bleeding, injured, and or dying. Other people were now grabbing and taking the food items from the people who had been shot, and they were running out of the store with the food. The cashier clerks had all run away for fear of their lives. People were taking anything that was not tied down and they could be carried out. I then went back outside and looked all around the plaza to the other stores. I observed that people had now run in every other store looking for food. Walmart had become a war zone with gun battles going on in the store and parking lot. Many people were lying dead or dying. I saw people run into TJ Maxx and the dollar store to their small food sections. People even ran into the movie theater and were fighting over the popcorn and candy. It seemed as if in 1 hour everything had gone from normal to complete and utter chaos and insanity. I was then reminded by the Lord that He had told me many times over the past several years that this would be the case, that life as we knew it would change suddenly and that most were not prepared. As I stood outside the store, I then saw the National Guard vehicles begin arriving in the area. They quickly swooped in and shot anyone who was seen holding a weapon. The clampdown had begun, and no one would be allowed on the streets. Everyone must stay inside or be shot. As the vision ended, I heard the Lord say, "Why have you not prepared?" And that was the vision that the Lord gave me, very serious. And I just want to thank you, and God bless you all.